There we go. Both runners should be off here in just a second. There we are. Looks like Zach got a little bit of a head start, but that'll probably change throughout the run. Good luck to both runners. Like I said, this is gonna be a really exciting match. I've been waiting for this one, I'm not gonna lie. I've been waiting for both of the round 2 matches, because these are really, like, 4 of the best pit runners out there. There's a few top-level pit runners that unfortunately weren't able to join, but these are, I mean, Teddy's the world record holder. I believe Zach's 4th or 3rd, 5th. I can't exactly remember. I don't have the leaderboard in my head. But yeah, what's up, Castle? Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I recommend sticking around. So, for anyone who hasn't, he's 5th. Okay, that's good to know. But yeah, so for anyone who hasn't really stuck around or watched the pit percent run before, this is like I said, this is the pit percent category. This is much different than any percent. We actually only play through Chapter 1 and 2-1, and then we go straight to the Pit of 100 Trials. It's a really interesting and strategic run, and there's a lot of RNG, especially when you get to the pit. So it brings for really fun races. We've actually had some really good moments throughout the first 2 matches. And actually, I want to make this announcement before I forget, because I always forget to do this, but if you guys, if there's any like funny moments or like really good clips, go ahead and clip them, and we actually have a Discord server. I made some new commands that are a lot easier. So, we are the SPM Tournament Discord. If you go in there, there's a channel called Tournament Clips. If you get any good clips, just drop them in there, and they'll go into a highlight reel, which is really cool. So, but yeah, regardless, we've had some great moments for the beginning of the tournament. So, I'm excited to see how this year turns out. It's already been a lot of fun. What's up, Tim? Yes, they are both rocking the English version, so I guess I'll go ahead and talk about that. The Japanese version of this game is technically faster, and for this category it actually is faster, for numerous reasons. It used to just be for text smashing, but now you can actually do a trick called Green Bridge Skip. However, for this tournament, it's not technically banned, but it is strongly recommended that if you have the English version of this game, to play on the English version. And we more than likely will see just the English version throughout this tournament. Because on Japanese, there is it's not random, but there's a chance that you can crash, like just have a game crash upon entering any room. And just for tournament's sake, all the runners have agreed to, you know, just stick to English for just the sake of completing a run. Yeah, Japanese has a big game crashing problem. I mean, technically, you know, there's a chance that you could finish a run without a crash, but there's also a chance that you could crash in a tournament, and then it would bring up the situation of having to have a rematch. It's really weird. So you're only allowed to use the Japanese version if it's your only copy of the game. So, cool stuff. What's up, Teddy? Good luck. Good luck to Zach as well. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. So, both runners actually pretty even so far, but this is, you know, nothing much to be expected of this. We're currently just in the prologue. Not much goes on here. I guess I will say that instead of taking the elevator down, both runners are going to jump off the left side, and they'll actually land right next to the Pure Heart Pillar, which saves a lot of cutscene time, so it's actually the faster thing to do, since we just spawn up on the flip side tower. But yeah, a little more about pit percent. So I'll talk about the pit more when we get there, but for the beginning, it's going to look pretty similar to an any percent run, with the exception of a couple things here and there. Plus, there's different routing choices for both runners. But that's going to be something really cool. Like, the route can get different, not just before the pit, but it can get different, like, right at, like, Chapter 1. There's a lot of runners that do different things. I don't think we'll have a similar route or a similar run throughout the entire tournament, because there's so much luck that goes into the beginning. Item drops are really important for this category. Some runners choose to rely on item drops because there's certain items like Fire Burst that you are more than likely to get, and there's some items that don't drop as often. It's really up to runner's preference. There's a lot of strategy that goes into this, so I'm really excited to see how both runners attack the run. So, they're actually finishing up Prologue right now. Zach is a little bit ahead, I would say around 7 seconds. Merlin's going to give us the return pipe. The return pipe just allows us to return to this flip side tower. We're actually going to be using it, I think, like twice in this run. So it does save time in certain areas. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and give a refresh to both streams here, just to make sure both of them are up to date. So yeah, they're both really close. I'd expect both of these runners to be, you know, RNG depending, but both of these runners are going to be pretty close by the time of entering the pit. So, which, that usually means it's going to be a pretty fun race to watch. So I'm excited again. I know I've said I'm excited like so many times, but seriously, these are two really good runners. Oh, and another thing, the next match will be PTL versus Castle. That'll be this Friday. So 2 days from now, it'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you have a chance, I recommend watching that too. That's also going to be a good race. But yeah, I mean, here we are, 1-1. So both runners finished the prologue. 1-1 is really where things start to kick up a bit. There's a lot that goes into this level. There's a really important point grind, but the first thing that we're going to be getting is the ability to flip into 3D, and that is given to us by Bestovius. So we technically don't have that yet. One thing about this game is that each character really just has their own ability. Like Mario has specific abilities, Peach has different specific abilities, but Mario's ability is probably the most important in this run in particular, and that is to flip in 3D. There's, you know, even in any percent, there's a lot of times we'll be going into 3D to solve certain puzzles, do a bunch of different things. That was a really good, it was a really good door spawn by Zach there. It's good stuff. But yeah, so we'll be using flipping into 3D a lot, and the only other character, like I said, that we get in this run is Peach. And we won't be using Peach too often. She's only useful for certain areas. We'll probably be using her in 2-1, and that's about it. Unfortunately, the only uses that Peach has is that she can float over gaps, which isn't needed during the pit. Oh, it is needed on the Racktail fight, so at the very end of the run we'll be using her too. But then her other ability is if you hold down, she can go invincible with her parasol. So right here, Zach and Teddy are both going to flip and pick up both items. They're going to get a Shell Shock, a Shroom Shake, and they're going to flip in this room, and they're going to get a Fire Burst. So the Shell Shock will be used in room 89 of the pit. I'll talk about it when we get there. Shroom Shake is a very important backup because that's 10 HP. Really, like, it's really important to get as many healing items as you can for this run. Some runners choose not to, and it does save a little bit of time, but if you get hit by a lot of enemies, you might be in a tough situation. But we'll talk about that again when we get to the pit. And finally, Fire Burst will be used for this next upcoming cutscene in Pre-Chapter 2. We'll be using the Fire Burst to cook something. So both runners opting to get the coin block, which is a pretty smart choice. Coins will be used periodically throughout the run. It really depends on what their strategies are, whether they go to this shop in 1-2 or not, but this room is probably one of the most important rooms right here. This is the point grind room. There's going to be a large set of squigs that you can see right in front of us. Both runners are going to jump and do a point grind for the squigs. Both of them are doing pretty good right now. Yeah, they're going to be okay. So it's really important to get leveled up as much as you possibly can early on. That was a really good grind for Zach. And then Teddy's also got a really good grind. That was really good. Both runners. Teddy's at 36k. Zach is at 35. Those are really good positions to be in. So, the reason that they level up early is that, obviously, the more you level up, the easier it is to kill enemies. But by room 25, you need to be at 60k level. And if you're not, you'll get soft locked. There's also a possibility that you soft lock room 19 as well. So ideally, it's important to get leveled up before room 19. If not, then room 25 at the best. So it's that grind right there it seems very minimal, but it's actually very important because I believe it's the only there's only 2 grinds in chapter 1 that we can do. The other one will be in 1-3, which is pretty simple. But that one is more important. You actually get more points from it. So yeah, those were both really good 1-1s. They're actually still very close together. And yeah, just like Zach said, there is no green bridge skip on this version of the game. They're both playing on the 1.2 version on English, so you can't actually clip out of bounds in the shop. So unfortunately, there won't be any green bridge skip in this run. However, I wouldn't be shocked to see many pit percent runs in the near future start to use green bridge skip. It was really cool. I might as well talk about it now. It was actually found. So we've known about green bridge skip for a while, and most runners did life shroom jump. It wasn't optimal to do life shroom jump in this run because of how many coins it cost to buy a life shroom. Coins are really valuable for many different things in this run, and it takes a while to get 50 before the shop here. However, there's actually an RTA viable way to do green bridge skip without a life shroom. And it was just found recently by Roblox in the Discord. So it's been known about. Mohawk found it like a while ago, but it's finally RTA viable thanks to Roblox as well as Zach. Zach worked a lot on grinding it and trying to get it RTA, and it's a decently consistent strat where I believe eventually it'll be more likely that top runners go for GBS than life stream jump. There are still runners that go for LSJ. It's a relatively new trick, but still really cool. I think the best thing about it is that you can actually retry it if you fall off, unlike LSJ, so that's good stuff. Right here, this is the red bridge guy. They both set the red bridge down. He's a really nice dude. The green bridge guy is an ass. We hate him. Alright, so both runners are opting to go to the shop here. This is what I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of different strategy for the shop. We'll see what both runners do. Zach's going to get a Shroom Shake. Teddy's going to get a Fire Burst. I'll talk about what each item does later. So yeah, Teddy's going to go for 2 Fire Bursts. Zach's going to go for 3 Shroom Shakes. Teddy's going for 3 Fire Bursts. Alright, 3 Fire Bursts, 3 Shroom Shakes. So, there's many different strategies that just went on there. So Shroom Shake is pretty self-explanatory. Zach is essentially getting extra healing items for the pit. When you get to the pit, it's very easy to take a lot of damage quickly, depending on which room you're in, so it's good to have an extra life, or not a life stream, but a Shroom Shake that's 10 HP that you can refill as long as you can get to the pause menu. So it's pretty important for a lot of runners to get extra healing items, especially in a tournament setting. Teddy, who has the record, opted to go for Fire Burst. Fire Burst can be used in many different rooms of the run. I believe he's probably going to use one in room 21? Maybe, no, room 11. I forget. It's a room with a bunch of spinies, but it is actually faster to use a Fire Burst there. And he's going to probably save 2 Fire Bursts for the very end of the run at Racktail. Instead of opting to wait on drops, it's good to have extra Fire Burst in your inventory. And Teddy's a pretty experienced runner, so in certain rooms he might not need to worry about Shroom Shakes. But yeah, that is actually our first instance of getting a pixel. We'll only be getting 2 in this run, but that's Thoreau. You can basically use him to pick up objects and enemies and throw them. It's pretty neat. You know, he's a pretty useful pixel, and you'll actually probably see him used in the pit in certain areas. There's certain times where picking up an enemy might actually be faster. You know, it's all situational, but he's very useful to have in your inventory, but more than likely we're going to be using the second pixel that we get in the run, and I'll talk about him later. So, like I was mentioning with GBS and LSJ, you skip all of this. Going to get Thoreau, talking to Old Man Watchet, going to the Green Bridge guy. You skip all of this by doing either Green Bridge skip or Live Stream Jump here. So it's a pretty, like, it saves a lot of time. LSJ is estimated to save 1:30 to a minute. It's probably more like a 1:45 to a minute, or 2 minutes, sorry. And then Green Bridge skip actually saves a little more than that, which is pretty, like, it's pretty insane. So, cool stuff, but that is the end of 1-2 for us, thankfully. The green dude's gonna get really mad at us and kick us out of his house, which is actually a good thing, because it would save time rather than just walking out of his house and going through the pipe animation. So pretty cool stuff. And yeah, so Zach's gonna finish 1-2 about 2 or 3 seconds ahead of Teddy. This is pretty, like, this is a really close race. This is pretty good so far. Nightbot popping off in the chat once again. Another reminder that I need to turn his moderation level down that I keep forgetting to do. My apologies. Oh man. Alright, so this is the 1-3 grind that I was talking about. They're gonna get 2, actually 3 items. They're gonna get a Fast Flower, the Happy Flower, and then I forget what that last item is called, but it basically gives you a bunch of mini Marios, which is pretty cool. And by picking up the Fast Flower or the Slow Flower, all the points that you get, the POW Pills, thank you very much. The Fast Flower actually multiplies all the points that you get by 3, meaning you can really rack up a lot of points. There's actually a chance in the 1-1 grind that you can get a Fast or Slow Flower, and if you get one of those, you can actually, like, I'm pretty sure you can actually get above 100k just on that first grind, which is insane. Because you see both runners right now, they're at just around 50k, so if you were to get like a Fast Flower or a Slow Flower and have a really good first grind, you wouldn't even need to worry about points for the rest of the run, until the pit, obviously. I'll fight Nightbot. But yeah, I probably just have to go in there. I'll probably make a note, do that at the end of the stream, because he's really annoying. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this level. This is the first boss fight of the game. This is O'Chunks. This is one of Count Bleck's minions. This fight is relatively easy by using Thoreau and jumping and shaking the Wii Remote in a corner, like you'll see both runners do here. Shaking the Wii Remote will actually allow you to get style points, which gives you extra points, once again helping towards the grind. I believe both runners are going to have a good... Ooh, Teddy's doing the really fast strat, which is without getting the style points. Unfortunately, he messed it up. It's really difficult to do that, but he actually still had a good chunks. The only downside to that for this run is, again, he's not going to get the style points. So I think Zach might be a little ways ahead of him. But the Chunks fight, like I said, there's a chance that he can grab you, but overall, it's pretty simple, and both runners will more than likely will get it. So, now this next trick right here, this is called ICS, Ice Turtle Skip. Now, okay, Zach's going for it, and he barely got it. That's really good. Teddy's got it too. Alright. Oh my god, there's a lot that just happened there. So, Ice Turtle Skip consists of running to the right, using Thoreau, picking up the Ice Turtle after he's fired a shot at you, and when you're holding the Ice Turtle above your head, then you get hit by his own shot, and then he'll be actually up at a position high enough for you to jump on him and get up to the door above you. So, really crazy stuff. There's a lot of strategy that goes into that trick. It's actually way easier to mess up than it looks, but it does save a solid, like, 10 to 15 seconds in that room. Probably more than that. I'm probably just being lenient there. So, like I said, 1-3 is a really, like, crazy level with a lot of things going on back and forth. I'm gonna go ahead and switch audio real quick. Go ahead and refresh some streams. Need a breather after that one, that's crazy. I'll go ahead and refresh this one too. Alright, cool. So yeah, both runners are still close. It's like they're still just seconds apart. Really cool stuff. 8 seconds, thank you. But yeah. So 1-4 is not as crazy as 1-3. There is a really cool trick that's coming up soon, which I will explain now. So, in 2 rooms from now, both runners will more than likely be going for key early. Normally, in this upcoming room, you'll have to go all the way to the right, enter a door, hit a switch, then go back to the previous room, and then a bunch of blocks have moved, and you can collect a key. However, the keys actually spawned in as soon as you enter the room, so both runners are going to clip out of bounds here. They're going to maneuver to the left side, just like you see Zach doing right now, and then he's going to land up on this ledge, if he can get there. Alright, he's got it, and then he's going to jump up, just maneuver himself, flip back into 2D and grab the key, and that's it. And Teddy's got it as well. Both really good displays of key early right there. Really solid stuff by both runners. Literally just like 2 seconds apart. So, cool stuff. That trick is much more difficult than it looks, but both runners, like I said, are very experienced. So, the rest of 1-4 doesn't have too much going on for it. It's mostly entering a room and finishing an objective to complete the room. It's a lot of that. So, the next big thing is really the boss fight at the end. But yeah, this run's been really good, so shoutouts to both of these runners for giving us a pretty good display of pit percent so far. It's crazy because we actually haven't even gotten to the good part of the run. It really gets interesting when you get to the pit, so I'm really excited to see how both runners manage the pit when they get there. So good stuff. Oh man, need a breather after that one. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm really excited to see how this race plays out. It's pretty good stuff. What's up, TLK? What's up, Caution? Tim, I think I said hi earlier. Yeah, Teddy, you actually had a really good key early. You actually, because Zach was struggling to get on the seam for a little bit, and I saw you caught up with him, like, a little bit. So that was pretty good. Yeah, key early's not easy. A lot of runners struggle with it. Some are just so used to it, and have practiced it for so much, or for so long. But it's a really cool trick. I'm glad that both runners decided to go for it and show it off in the tournament. They're in sync. This is insane. They're both they're both going to Fractal like in sync. This is crazy. I feel like I'm watching like the same the same game feed right now. This is insane. Both runners are both of these guys are really good. So yeah, this is Fractal. This is the first chapter boss. Like each chapter has its main chapter boss. And this is the chapter 1 boss. He's pretty simple, and we're actually going to see a clone of him at the very end of the game, because you fight Ractail at the end of Pit. So that's pretty cool. But Fractal is very easy. There's a really cool strat that both runners are going to do that can actually save like 1 minute and 40 seconds. They're basically going to do 2 cutscene skips by jumping from the end of his tail to the beginning of his head. He basically does a loop in midair after you hit him 3 times, and that's essentially it. Yeah, even their mashing is both very similar. I mean, do I even need to say anything? Look at the cutscene. This is insane. This is so crazy. They're just like fraction of a second apart right now. So, There's actually a strat for getting onto him that actually saves like 2 to 3 seconds here. If you line up, eventually, he just does this 40-second cutscene, but eventually he's going to chomp the ground in like 3D. He's basically going to come towards us, and we jump on his back. But you can actually time it and take 3D damage, allowing you to basically jump through his head, as well as get him to spawn closer to you. So, pretty cool stuff. I'm pretty positive both runners are going to go for it. Zach's all the way at the other end of the room. That's pretty cool. Yeah, oh wow. He actually spawns so much closer towards you. That's crazy. So yeah, they're going to hit Fractail 3 times here. And after that, they're going to be jumping from the end of his tail to his head after he loops around. It's very important that both runners get this. So Teddy's got it, and Zach's got it. And then they'll go for it one more time. And that will be 1-4. So good stuff. I think Zach actually might have missed a throw there. I didn't see. Alright, Teddy's got it again, and Zach has it as well. That was a really good fight for Teddy. He actually saved time on Zach there, and is ahead. So good stuff. Zach missed another throw, which is unfortunate. But he did level up. So that's pretty cool. So Teddy's probably around, like, close to 8 seconds. 8 to 10 seconds ahead of Zach right now. Yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't tell if he just got bad spawns for those little enemies, or if it just missed 2 throws. Nice, cool stuff. So yeah, that's really it for 1-4. There's just this last cutscene. I appreciate you timing this PTL, because I just have to guesstimate in my head, really. But, I mean, both runners are still really close for even just being 10 seconds apart. This is going to be really exciting. So, this part of the run is really like a downswing. The pre-chapter cutscene here is... the pre-chapter 2 cutscene is pretty long. There's a lot of text. There's a couple things I'll explain, but overall it's really just story stuff. So, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, we have a great run on our hands right now. A great race. So that's pretty cool. So there's a few things that I'll talk about during this cutscene, but the first really cool thing is actually we're gonna be able to play as Peach after spawning in Bleck's castle, and the specific room that we spawn in has a really neat. It's actually this one on Teddy's screen currently. It has a really neat sequence break. That's what it's called. And basically, if we were to fly up, we can actually do this with fly hacks, but if we were to get up on the right ledge, I'll point it out, it's going to be like right as Teddy enters the door, but if we were to get up on that ledge, we could enter a pipe and collect the key, and the game would actually transfer us to a state of being in 8-1, because that's what this level is. And you can actually, like, with hacks, you can actually, like, beat the game this way. There's just, even if we were to get up there, there's a lot of things that would have to happen before we would be able to actually beat the game by doing that. See, on Zach's screen, it's that right ledge up there. So it's a pretty cool tidbit that not too many people know about, but it's been tested for a while. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen, but I think just the fact that it can happen is pretty cool in itself. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh streams here. So yeah, this whole cutscene is basically playing as Peach trapped in Count Bleck's castle, and then at the end of this cutscene, she's gonna be teleported. She's just gonna be randomly teleported to Flipside Tower. Right now, it's not known who teleports her, but it's actually Dimentio. That goes into that goes a lot into the story of this game, but unfortunately, we won't be actually completing the game today. We'll just be doing the pit. Yes, that is true. If we were to actually get up there, we could still do the pit and Shadow. Both of those categories would be faster, because you would skip a lot. Yeah, it didn't occur to me that it was Dimentio until someone pointed it out, but it makes sense, because it's actually what his teleporting cutscene looks like. I always thought it was just like something random or like Tippy doing it. You know, I had no clue until someone actually told me, but it was all part of his master plan. Pretty cool. So now we're back in Flipside. There's a lot of stuff that we're gonna have to do, but let me turn desktop audio off. I just realized you guys probably heard that. My bad. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna do. So the first thing that happens is we'll go into Merlin's house, and then during this cutscene, some random dude will enter the room saying that a girl had fallen on the top of Flipside Tower. Obviously the girl's Peach, you know, we know this. And then there's gonna be a really cool, it's not, I guess it's just more of just a strat that we do. But instead of going to talk to Peach immediately, we're actually gonna go, downstairs one level. And we're gonna cook a fire burst. Give a fire burst to Saffron and cook it. And basically the reasoning for this is that when we get up there, Peach is basically out cold, and Merlin's gonna tell us to cook a sap soup at the at Saffron's place on the second floor of Flipside. So since we know this already, we can actually just go cook it first, since we're closer to the actual cooking house. And then after we're done cooking it, we use the return pipe, and it saves a lot of time just to prior knowledge of the game. And I think that's something that's really cool, is like, there's a lot of small things that you might not notice runners do that are just strategic due to prior knowledge that actually save a lot of time. Spicy soup. I don't know why I've been saying sap soup for all these years, but yeah, that's that. So cool stuff. But yeah, another thing I never mentioned is you're actually going to see it. Teddy will jump, and Zach does this as well. But if you jump right as you spawn into a level or a room, it actually saves, it gets your momentum up faster than just walking. So, it's a very small time save that you'll see, but both runners do it. And as well, you'll also see Zach, whenever he enters doors, will sometimes flip back the opposite direction. And by doing this, you can actually save just a fraction of a second each time. But again, when the any percent run for this game is very, very long, it's 4 hours, and everything adds up. So it's really important that the runners do, you know, as much as they can to save time. So yeah, both runners are in this cutscene right now. There's not much that goes on. All that happens is that we actually get Peach as a partner that we can use for the rest of the run. Which I thought that was always a really cool thing about this game, is that you can actually, you know, instead of most Mario games just being about, like, saving the princess, you actually get her as a partner before you even get Luigi as a partner, which is pretty crazy. But I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said earlier, Peach won't be utilized too much in this run, besides a couple times here before the pit, as well as the final boss of this run. But both runners will be going to place the pure heart in the pillar here. It's just a bunch of maneuvering, and there's going to be one pretty neat strat that both runners do here. I'm supposed to be ahead pretty bit. We'll see if you catch up in 2-1, but yeah. It was really, I think it was mainly just that, that fractal fight. Because you're still probably about, I would say you're probably about, like, 10 seconds behind. So yeah, right here, Teddy's gonna flip back into 2D at the end of this room. He's gonna grab one of the squigs, throw them into the hole right here. He's actually gonna damage boost, and then jump off of either the squiglet or the coconut, and you can actually jump up to that platform. This is actually an area where Peach is normally utilized, but instead you can just do that, and it saves a decent amount of time. 15, ooh. Yeah. It was quite a interesting fight. It's unfortunate. So yeah, this is the first use of the return pipe, actually. Instead of backtracking to the flip side tower, you can just use the return pipe. It saves quite a lot of time. Oh yeah, you're right. That was the second use, because of Saffron. I forgot. Commentator slacking once again. Alright. So this is where the run really kicks up. Right after this level, oh, this is actually the one level that we don't beat in this game. We're simply going into 2-1 to collect Boomer, who's the next pixel that we get. And after we get Boomer, we're not even beating the level, we're just gonna return pipe out and go straight to the pit. Because right now, as we speak, you can actually get to the pit, as is. It would take like a clip, like a wall clip, or you can do a crazy trick to get on the pipe, but regardless, you could do it without Boomer, but the reason that both runners are getting Boomer is that it's a much safer and faster strat than using just throw throughout the pit. There's a lot of complications which happen. There's a lot of enemies that can only be defeated through Boomer in the pit, so it's just better to get Boomer. In a lot of instances, he's faster as well. Boomerless pit has been done by PTL, which I think is really cool, but I don't believe it'll become a strat anytime soon. Just because there's so much, I mean, there's so much luck that goes into it in general. Yeah, Fractal. He basically, he missed a few throws on Fractal. I think he said he's like 10 to 15 seconds behind Teddy. Actually, he might be a little closer than that now that I look at it. So, but 2-1 is a very straightforward level. It's very similar to 1-4, where you just go in a room, complete an objective, and then leave. You know, a lot of it consists of getting a key here and there. But we won't be beating this level. There is a cool trick called Boomer Skip that's done in any percent. It was found a while back by Mohawk. And by doing this, you can actually throw a shell shock up on a ledge that hits a switch, saving a minute. It's essentially what it is in its simplest form. But it completely skips getting Boomer. And now you might be wondering, you know, would it be better to just do Boomer Skip in pit? And I don't believe it's faster. I think it's been tested to be slower for the pit, specifically. But also, you would more than likely need... I mean, you could technically use the shell shock that you have, but the shell shock that you use in 89 saves a lot of time, if you do it right. So, it's best to just keep it with you. And plus, the trick isn't too easy. I mean, I'm sure most runners could probably do it consistently, but I'm pretty sure it's better to just go to Boomer and then return pipe. And so here we are. I'd say they're probably around, I'll count. They're about 5 seconds apart. Slower by a few seconds. Yeah, that's true. That makes more sense, because you still have to complete the level. In this, we can just talk to Boomer and return pipe. Alright, so Boomer actually has the slowest text out of all the pixel cutscenes, which is unfortunate, but both runners got Boomer, and that is about it. I believe Zach is still around 4 to 5 seconds behind. And both runners are just going to use return pipe and go straight to the pit. So there's a couple of cool strats that can be done here. We'll see if anyone goes for HP plus early, or if they do the corner clip. We'll have to see. But yeah, at the end of this room, there's a set of red blocks that cover the pipe, and it used to be knowledge that you could only enter the pit after you got Boomer, because you need Boomer to blow them up, but you can actually, it was found that you can actually clip, Zach attempted it there, but you can actually corner clip into those blocks and enter the pipe, which is pretty cool. And there was an alternate way that was found by PTL, I believe, where you can actually just do a couple 3D abuse things and also get into the pipe. Alright, so both runners are... They basically... Oh, okay, Zach's doing the coconut jump strat, which is definitely maybe a little bit slower, maybe a little bit faster. I prefer it, mainly because it looks cool. No HP plus early, so you can actually... That previous room that both runners were in, you can actually clip out of bounds and get the HP plus early back there. That gives you 5 extra HP entering the pit. Both runners opted to not do it, so here we are. We're both going into the pit here. This is room 1. Before I even talk about the rooms and stuff, there's a lot to explain with the pit. I'm gonna go ahead and try to mention everything as possible, but there's a lot of things that are RNG in this pit. The key drops and item drops are completely random, so each enemy has a percentage chance to drop certain items when you kill them, and basically the premise of these rooms and pit is once you kill an enemy, there is a random chance that that enemy will drop the key. There's basically one enemy in each room that has the key that you can leave the room with, and there's a lot of strategy that goes into killing these enemies to get the key. There's a couple other things that are RNG. The entry and exit door placements. There's some similar locations, however, the exact locations are random. The floor layouts are actually always the same for each room. So that's something that isn't RNG. And then certain enemy locations are also random. They're similar but also random. So there's a lot of RNG that goes in the pit, is essentially what I'm saying here. Level ups are very important because level ups not only increase either your attack or your HP, but they can actually refill your health entirely. So getting a level up might be what some runners opt to do if they're low on health, rather than using a healing item. So there's a lot more that I'm not even mentioning here, but that's essentially what you have to know. So I'll point out when some certain level up spots are. Like Teddy just got 60k, that's one. And the next one's 90k for both runners. So right now, I'll go ahead and do a room check. I'm pretty sure Teddy is entering, what is this, 8? Is this? No, he's entering room 7. Zach is in room 6, finishing up. I saw Teddy got some pretty good RNG, both runners actually. got some decent RNG at the beginning here. So room 7, I'll try to mention as many enemies as I can, but Sproingoings, that's the enemy that Teddy just killed right there. They can be jumped on, and if you do a high jump on them once, you can actually do like a mini point grind, because they'll split into 3, and you'll get a lot of points from it, basically, is what I'm saying. Cherbils will basically shoot, they'll shoot like a gas of some sort at you, and depending on what color they are, they can do different types of things, but with these enemies, this is actually the first use of a duck jump, basically holding down right or down left, depending on what direction you're headed, but basically holding down when you jump to decrease Mario's height. That way you can jump above a very tall enemy when you're in a certain enclosed space. Both runners entering room 9, they're very close. Zach actually gets the key early, he's still trying to find the door. Teddy's got it, they're both going to be entering the next room here right at the same time. So that's the first 10 rooms right off the bat. Both runners are not screwing around this run. There's some really good gameplay going on here, which is pretty exciting. Okay, so shells. Shells are commonly used in these runs. They can be used for different reasons. You can wipe a floor of enemies out pretty easily. If you flip in 3D, you can actually get the shell to hit all enemies that are in 2D or in the same line in 3D. It's really weird, but basically what you need to know for shells is that the green shells and red shells will despawn. However, the spiny shells will not despawn off screen, so that's a very important thing to know, and it will actually be utilized for certain grinds later in the run. I believe Zach just flew through 2 different rooms before Teddy actually finished this one, which is crazy. I could be wrong about that. Oh no, he's on 13 right now. I thought I saw Zach fly through a few rooms there, which is pretty cool. It's going to be tough to catch up with both runners here. They are both very talented at what they do. Zach gets a courage shell drop that decreases his the amount of damage that he takes by a little bit. It's not too useful, and most runners will opt to not pick it up. Zach actually benefited from a door spawn location there, which is pretty cool. So, in the last room, there were enemies called Schlurps. That's basically the first example of certain runners opting to... That was a really good strat by Teddy. Holy hell, he played that room perfectly. But there are going to be certain rooms with enemies that are just more difficult to kill, so these runners will opt to kill easier enemies first to save time, in hopes that the enemy that takes longer to kill does not have the key. So, and it can save a lot of time in certain instances. There's a lot of strategy that goes into the way that each runner plays these rooms. So yeah, they're both in the same room right now. Zach actually gets a first key. Teddy is still working on getting the key, as it is. He's gonna get that shell. Zach's gonna be headed to the next room. So this room is this is 17. Oh, so the room that Teddy's in, that has tyloids in it. Basically, those tyloid enemies are, they'll climb on walls. They're from Chapter 4. They have a bunch of different abilities, but it's pretty easy to kill them with Boomer if you can't hit them. Like, if you can't just jump on their head, depending on where they're located at. There's a lot of RNG that... Zach got a hot sauce! Oh my god! That is a really good drop. That's actually better than getting a Mighty Tonic, because you don't have a long cutscene. So that's a very good drop to get from just a squig, I'm pretty sure. That basically doubles your attack damage if you use it. He's definitely going to save that for, I think, 70 or 80 something. It's gonna be... I think it's at one of the 90 rooms, where there's a lot of the Koopa Trolls, which is actually in this room right here. It's a really good drop. Zach had another really good room there. He's flying through the first 20 rooms. Teddy's, I think, going into the Koopa Troll room, room 19. I didn't even get a chance to talk about the Koopa Troll, but this is what I was talking about earlier, why both runners want to level up to 60k. If you're not at 60k, you can't kill the Koopa Troll with Boomer. You can kill him with a shell. Okay, good. Teddy didn't get a Koopa Troll. Those enemies just take long to kill in general, which is why what is it? A hot sauce is going to come in handy later for Zach if he decides to use it in that room. So this is the room, I believe, where Teddy's going to use... Yeah, he's going to use one of his fire bursts here. And it's going to save time over the way that Zach managed to kill these enemies, but you want to get as many on screen as possible. He actually got the key from one, so that's good. But if you don't get a key from that fire burst usage, it might be a little bit slower than what Zach opted to do. There's a lot of RNG that goes into it. Zach's on 23, and I believe Teddy's going into 22, so... Some pretty cool stuff going on here. On Teddy's screen, there's actually a bunch of boos, which basically you're going to have them home towards you, and then you're going to use Boomer to kill them all. It's a pretty neat strat. So Teddy actually did a good job there. Zach's going into 24. Let me catch up on some enemies, see if I missed anything. Yeah, 24 is just a bunch of Spronglings again. You'll see a lot of enemies have different variants. They basically vary in color, but the later you go in the pit, the harder and tougher the enemies are to kill. Like, the more health they have, the more attack damage they do. There's certain enemies that are just terrible in general, and I'll talk about those. I can't believe you didn't hit that chomp there, that's unfortunate. Alright, so that was room 25, the chain chomp. That's actually the enemy where, if you're not leveled up to 60k, you're actually soft-locked, unless you have a catch card, I believe is the only way to kill them without Boomer. So, it's pretty crazy. Sorry for the stream drops here, I'll try to refresh these streams. Okay, so Teddy's is good. Zach might be having internet issues. Oh no. Zach! Zach, no! Alright, well, we'll try to get Zach's stream back up soon. That's unfortunate. Teddy's actually at 4 health right now. I don't know how much healing he has left. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Teddy's in the Amazy Daisy room with Paragoombas. He's actually got the key. That was a really good room. He's decently, like, he's not too far off of 90k, so he could just wait and level up. I have faith in him that he'll be okay either way. I'm gonna try to refresh the stream. I think Discord went down. It's working for me. Let me, Okay, how to, what is it, like... I'm trying so hard to, figure out how to get this, I apologize. Oh, here, let me do this. Did the stream go down? I'm still here. I should still be here. I think just Zach's stream, unfortunately, went down. I don't know what happened exactly, but Teddy's still going. Is his stream still up for you guys? I don't know if it is or not. Let me check. Yeah, I see our stream, and then I see Teddy's, but I don't see Zach, so... Hopefully we can get Zach back up. He should just pop up as live as soon as he gets it back up. I'm assuming that he's still playing. Teddy's down to 3 health, but he's a little bit closer to leveling up. I'd imagine he'll get it. I don't know. I think he has 1 Shroom Shake. If he gets hit one more time, he might opt to use it. It's down for you guys. Oh, it's back up. Alright. Welcome back, Zach. I hope he's back. We'll see. But yeah, I think Teddy will be alright here. I know Zach's probably trying to get his stream back up. It's just that it's hard to do that when you're also hoping to play really well. We'll just have to see where Zach is as soon as he gets his stream back. But for now, Teddy, you just keep playing. Your stream's good to go. These are Longinators. They're pretty tough to kill. They actually have a lot of health compared to other early enemies. Hopefully he doesn't... Ooh, God. They're surprisingly... Okay, nice. He's back. surprisingly easy to take damage on some of those enemies. I'm gonna refresh the stream there just to make sure it's up to date, and we'll be able to get an idea of where the runners are at. Zach is in 33, I believe? And so is Teddy, so they're still like right neck and neck. That's pretty good. And Teddy actually got the key first, so yeah, he's gonna be ahead of Zach here. He's actually gonna pull just ahead. Ooh, I don't know what happened here. Oh, he's gonna. Oh, he has to. That's unfortunate. That's that's just bad room layout. They're consistent, but it's sometimes easy to forget certain room layouts. That was unfortunately a really bad room for Zach. Just really bad luck there. Okay, Teddy's got that key. This is... let's see if he's in the same room. Yeah, he is. Okay. So, Teddy just finished 34, Zach just entered. Let me see if there's any enemies that I forgot to mention. Cursias are pretty easy to kill, but if you touch them, they'll give you a curse. If you flip in 3D, some other enemies have this property, but it's you know, they can actually fall down in 3D is what I'm trying to say. That was really good ninja RNG for Teddy. That room can sometimes take a while, so that's pretty good RNG. You just saw someone doing an 80% run. They're in 1-1 and they somehow got a 9:45 prologue. I need to I need to check that out. I'm kind of interested. We'll see what's going on there. But yeah, actually, if you look on Teddy's screen, that's the first use of, you got an Ice Storm. That's a good drop. So that can actually be used towards the end of the run. That's really good. But that was the first use. Zach got a Thunder Rage of using a Spiny Shell, and it won't despawn. You can actually flip in 3D or stay in 2D, and it won't despawn. But Teddy made really good use of it there. This room that Teddy's on is the first Magic Koopa room. I believe it's the first one, but they're a pretty tough enemy to kill. Some runners will opt to kill the spiked Goombas instead. It really just depends on placement. So yeah, Zach is entering 37, Teddy is in 39. So Teddy's gotten a little bit further ahead. Another really good room for Teddy. He's going to be on 40. It's cool stuff. So Zach also making good use of that Spiny Shell there. So that's actually the first Flim spawn I've seen. But basically Flim is a shop guy that will spawn in between like every 10 rooms. He's completely random whether he'll spawn or not. That's a really good key for Teddy there. Getting that in the first Clubba. Clubba room is, it can be tough sometimes. It's really weird. They actually do 3 damage. Teddy's getting some really good RNG this run. At least the past few rooms. That's not bad either. That's honestly pretty good. And Zach's got the key as well. Zach's RNG hasn't been terrible outside of that one room where he came back, where his stream popped back up. But I believe Zach is... oh my god, Teddy! What the hell's going on? Jeez, that's the Koopa Striker room. He's going too fast. I can't even describe the enemies. That's crazy. That's really good luck that he's getting here. His RNG is really just crazy. That's also pretty good. Room 40 for Zach. And I believe Teddy's going into 42 or 43. I can't remember. 45! I'm too far behind. That is crazy. He got another first key. What is this guy doing? What is going on this stream? This is crazy. That's a really long room, too. That's a Tyloid room. Oh my god, it's insane. Zach will have to watch his health here with these Clubbas. So like I said, the Clubbas do 3 damage. And it's really easy to take a lot of damage every now and then, and that's an unfortunate animation. So he's down to 4. I think, yeah, he's just gonna opt to heal, which is a good decision. Teddy got a Turtley Leaf, which isn't too useful, but it's nice to have if you ever get in a low health situation. Yeah, Teddy's been flying through some of these rooms here. It's been pretty crazy. He's on 47. Teddy just has, like, he has a lot of experience in strategizing his room layouts and, like, enemy placement. There's a lot of stuff that is taken into consideration when he does a run of this category. And it's really interesting to see the strats that he does for killing each enemy. And of course, if he just gets good RNG, like, it's absolutely insane how fast he goes through some of these rooms. He's getting some unfortunate RNG here. He's a bit low on health. How close is he to leveling up? I believe he's actually decently close. Yeah, he'll level up at 120k. So yeah. Oh, this is actually a pretty unfortunate club of room for him. I think that might have been like a last key, something close to it. Which is good news for Zach. He can definitely have a chance to catch up if Teddy's luck keeps running that way. There's a lot that can change in a pit run just really quickly. It's actually really crazy. I think Teddy's on 49. I think that's what this room is. And then Zach is on the Tyloid room. This is the room that Teddy got a first key on, which, as you can see from Zach's screen, this is not an easy room, or not a fast room by any means, so that was pretty impressive what Teddy did there. He's still getting some bad luck. Those are two really bad rooms back to back, jeez. Luck is being very fluctuated for Teddy. He's either getting really crazy good RNG or getting last key. Interesting stuff. That was an unfortunate room for Zach as well. Yeah, he was actually having a really good 41 through 50 right there. But those last two rooms really ruined it. It's kind of unfortunate. So, Teddy's on 51. This room's actually pretty neat. It's what some runners call the level grind room. You can basically flip in 3D and use a spiny shell to just farm these enemies, really, and you can level up pretty easily. And Teddy's actually going to do that. He's going to... Ooh, he got a really nice Mighty Tonic drop. Again, that's going to help for the Coup Patrol room. That's a really good drop for him. And yeah, you can level up a lot there. You can get up level for quite a bit. Zach is on 47. Teddy's on 52, so they're about like 5 rooms apart. It's not too bad. This is the Pig-a-Rhythm room for Teddy. They can drop some items sometimes, but normally they'll just drop a lot of coins, and then that last one had the key. So, basically the strategy for that room in most cases is just flip and allow the enemies to fall down to the floor. There's a lot of rooms that are like that. Zach actually had to use a Shroom Shake there for that. Oh man, this room can be really tough. This is actually one of the more tough rooms in this run. These Magic Koopas and these Clubbas are really, really tough to deal with. He's actually down to 5 HP. He's about 5. Yeah, he's about 5k off of a level up. Yeah, he's gonna use the last one. Oh my gosh, it's so tough to deal with these enemies. He's actually just gonna use his spare Thunder Rage, which is not a terrible idea. These enemies are a pain to deal with, and it didn't even kill them. That's brutal. They have a lot of health. Like, they have a ridiculous amount of health. So Teddy, I think, completed 1 or 2 rooms while I was watching Zach's stream. That's a decent key for him. Yeah, I mean, these rooms, like, especially the Clubba rooms, are either, you know, you can get first key or it's just unpredictable. There's a lot that can go into those rooms. This is unfortunate. It's also bad RNG here for this room. This room, like, if you get bad RNG in this room, it's pretty slow. Teddy's flying through some of these rooms. This is crazy. I didn't actually see that. So yeah, Zach is gonna talk to this guy. He's probably gonna buy a heal if he can, or a tonic. That's not a bad choice. So yeah, Zach is going into 51. Teddy will probably be in like, what, 57? Or 58, yeah. Okay, so this is the Amazing Daisy room. This is a painful room for a lot of runners. Oh my god, he just got whacked by that Amazing Daisy. Oh my gosh. So, the Amazing Daisy is the last enemy that you would ever want to get the key. There's really only one simple way to kill it. Thankfully, he's good to go. But one of its music notes will do 10 damage, which is very scary to deal with when you're in 2D right after entering that room. It's really crazy. Like, just that enemy is like one of the most insane enemies in this game. It has a lot of health. The only way that most runners kill it is by just grabbing it with throw and then tossing it into a corner and spam jumping on it. So Teddy's in room 60. I believe Zach is in 52 or 53. So boomboxers are an enemy that I didn't even talk about yet. Basically, if you use Boomer, they will be stunned for a little bit. They actually won't do any damage, and they won't move at all. It's pretty easy to deal with them if you stun them. Zach is in another... He thankfully leveled up. He's in another room with Clubbas. Teddy's going to use a Mighty Tonic, which is actually good for these dry bones, because they will... He's down to 2 health. Oh my god, he should be fine because he's close to leveling up, but this can be scary sometimes. Some of these enemies can be really unpredictable. He should level up here. Yeah, he'll level up. There you go. Oh my god. Holy, oh my god. That was actually a really good strat to use the Mighty Tonic there. One more hit and he would have died. Okay, he finally got the key. Dark Boos, I haven't actually talked about that enemy yet. They will basically home at you in 3D, and they'll flip in 2D to try to scare you. The best way to deal with them is to lure them towards you, and then right as they spawn, you can hit them with Boomer, doing a decent amount of damage there. These Boomerang Bros, this actually, like, might be the worst room in this game. Boomerang Bros will do 3 damage with their projectile. Clubbas will do 3 damage. And if you're not leveled up enough or using a tonic or something to that extent, these enemies can be really painful to deal with, but thankfully Teddy's got it. So not bad. Pretty good stuff. Man, I need to catch my breath. This run's going by real fast. So 58 and 64 for both these runners. Zach, I fell asleep. I don't know what enemy hit him. Oh no! Oh my god. He's so lucky that he had 13. If he had less than 10 HP, he would have died right there. I did not expect that. That actually had me jumping out of my seat. Oh my god. See, that's the really bad part about Amazing. I think he's down to 1 health. Yeah, oh my god. Oh, this room is so painful. This room's actually such a pain to deal with. He's down to 1 health again, I'm pretty sure. Or 2. No, 1. I hope so much that this Amazing Daisy doesn't have the key. That will be a pain. Okay, good, he's fine. So he'll level up at... No, it's not 15, is it? It's 1600, so he's gonna have to, like... His only option right now, unless he gets a flim spawn, is to just take it as slow as possible. Or as easy as possible. This is really a really bad position to be in. As it is, and he's got some tough rooms upcoming. Oh my god. He's gonna kill those magic blots. Oh my god, dude! I'm freaking out! Okay. It had the key. Alright. He's gonna have to, like... He's literally gonna have to trial stew this thing. I hope he's coming up to a 10 room soon. Oh, please have a flim, dude. Yes! Please, no! You gotta be kidding me! There's no way! He literally tried! No, that's not his fault. He literally tried to go to flim, and entered the door by accident. Oh my god. This is painful to watch. This is actually the most pain I've ever been in my life. Oh my god. He's literally gonna have to trial stew the next 10 rooms. This is insane. Unless an enemy drops a healing item, which I hope happens. Okay, he might get hit here. I don't think he will. If he turns around or jumps fast enough, he'll be fine. Okay, yeah, he's fine. No! You gotta be... Oh my god! Oh my god, dude. That was the craziest run I've ever seen. Oh my god, I am so sorry, Zach. That was painful. That was really, really bad luck in a lot of those rooms. Rip Zach. F in the chat for Zach. That was a good run though, GG. Like... Oh my god. Zach, please tell me that you meant to talk to Flim and it just accidentally you accidentally entered the door. Oh my god. Yeah, the easy to clear rooms and then, you know, Clubba and Boomerang Bros, it's just last key. It's rough. Like, all of the Clubba rooms that, at least that I saw, Zach go in, it was painful to watch. Like, that was some of the worst Clubba RNG I've ever seen in my life. This game can be really rough sometimes. Yeah, every single Clubba room was last key. It was brutal. Like, when you stay in that room for so long, it's so easy to, just rack up damage. So there's a lot that goes on there. But GG to Zach for that run. That was it was still pretty entertaining to watch. Basically trial stewing the entire end of the pit there. But yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, basically how these things work when a runner dies, the other runner will have a chance to finish. And if they end up finishing, then they will win. So basically, if Teddy just finishes this run, he wins the match. If Teddy is to die in one of these rooms, then there will be a rematch. We'll see if that happens. My best bet is I don't think he will. He's about to level up here, plus I think he has some heals. This is a pretty tough room. Okay, he leveled up. He's fine. He took a little bit of damage there. But yeah. Dude, I wish you were here, Zach, to see the Teddy's 41 through 50. Or it's more like his 41 through 47. Like, I think he got like 6 first keys and maybe like 1 second key. And then 48 and 49 were like last key. It's just, yeah, it's insane. Like, RNG is insane in this game, and for Teddy. He's actually at a really good level, too, at 200k. He's actually pretty early for getting to 200k. Yeah, I hope someone did, because there were some really good clips in there. I'll have to go back and, clip some more if anything happens, but that's pretty crazy. So, to update about Teddy's run, he's on 77 right now. So there's been a lot of enemies. Both of you guys have gone so fast. Like, I'm literally on my commentary document where it shows me like what enemies to talk about. I'm still on like room 20 on that document. Like, it's just been flying by here. Just like the Clubba and Magicu. Yeah. I don't know how you didn't die on that room. Like, it was crazy. But yeah, so Teddy's going into... He's gonna be heading into 80 soon. I think this is just... He's got 79 and that's it. Yeah, okay, cool. So there's a bunch of these Skelebits. Since Teddy's level up, actually, he saves a lot of time in this room. Once you get to 200k, you can actually one-hit these enemies with Boomer. If you're not at 200k, which a lot of runners are not, you know, depending on RNG, but a lot of runners aren't at this level yet, but it'll take 2 hits with Boomer, and that can be really slow sometimes. So it's a really good advantage to get to the Skelebit rooms with 200k as soon as possible. So again, like, really good leveling by Teddy there. These are more picker rhythm rooms. I think this is, yeah, okay. You got the key there. Picker rhythm and whatever they're called. I forget. I don't forget, I just literally can't remember their names. Tyloids. I'm so stupid. Okay. I haven't actually talked about Magiblots yet and how they work. But Magiblots come in different colors. The red ones do the most damage. I think they do like 6 damage. Which outside of the Amazy Daisy is like, it's really high damage for the pit. You can drain your health on some of those enemies if you get bad luck. But a good strat for Magiblots is essentially to head towards a corner and allow them to spawn in a corner. And then you can just spam, like just jump on top of them by duck jumping and spamming on them. That's the best way to do it. So, Teddy's going into what I believe is 83? 84, okay. So these are more Spanias. I haven't even talked about Spanias yet. That's a really good key, holy Jesus. That was a good first key. But yeah, Spanias and Schlorps. The Schlorps take a long time to kill, so it's best to get the key from a Spania. So that was good job. Or good RNG, rather, from Teddy. So these Dark Boos and Poison Spinies. The Poison Spinies take like 2 hits from Boomer to kill. Or sometimes 3, actually. This, I believe, is the room where Teddy's going to use his, if he has an extra tonic or a hot sauce. He'll more than likely use it here, unless he can kill these Magic Koopas. Or opt not to. I mean, it's up to him. He used it in 62. He did, I thought he picked another one up yet. No, maybe that was you. Maybe that was you buying the extra one. Can't remember. Tonic in 62. That's the Dry Bones room. I remember that. That's the Dry Bones and Clubbas? Something like that. But yeah, it was a little bit slow, but at this point it doesn't matter too much as long as he finishes the run. So his next level up is actually at 250k. So he's got a little bit of a ways to go. There's a few rooms that are coming up soon where you can sometimes grind a lot of points. He's down to 7. I think he has a heal, but we'll see. Dullbones, Clubba, and Boomerang Bros. Tyloids. That's true. Okay. Clear so fast with Thon. Yeah, that makes sense. So he's down to 5 currently. I don't know if he has a heal. Like, I'm assuming he does, but we'll have to see. We might get a pretty interesting finish here. So this is the room where we use the Shell Shock. These are the, what are these enemies called again? Silver Goombas on here, but I'm pretty sure they're called something else. Head Bonk Goombas, that's it. So yeah, you can mow them down with a Shell Shock and level up here. So that's a pretty good level up. So I think he should be set for the rest of this run here. But you can just spam those enemies. It's a really crazy room. You can actually sometimes level up twice. It's kind of cool. Had a Flim spawn there, but that was unfortunate. So yeah, these novices, they're this one's a pain to deal with sometimes, just because he is up on this ledge. Yeah, Teddy's just gonna wait for it. There we go. A bit slow, but it's all good. Alright, so this next room is just a bunch of ninjos. I haven't even talked about ninjos, actually. Which is kind of crazy, but basically, ninjos have like a 25% chance of not dying. They'll just turn into a bomb sometimes. Some move faster than others, some take longer to kill than others. They're pretty, like, sometimes they can be painful to deal with. Like when, in that situation there, where you get one that just keeps dying over and over again. Or keeps exploding over and over again, you know? It's kind of crazy. But yeah, Teddy's towards the end here. I imagine, yeah, this is 93. He's got a ways to go, but... These Skelebits. That's a pretty good drop. That's a stake drop. That actually does, gives him 12 HP. This enemy is just not dying, which that happens sometimes with these ninjos. Alright, so this room layout can be painful sometimes. Thankfully, I think the door is on a good level. Sometimes the door will spawn right where Teddy spawned, and you'll have to walk up all the way around just to get to the door. It can be really tough to deal with sometimes. I think the key, yeah, you got the key. Alright. Not bad. Click the X on the recent video. Oh yeah, you know what? Hang on. You're right, let me do that. Cool background. Epic. Mario Luigi walk. Yeah, it looks nicer. That's actually a really good offline stream. Sometimes I just turn the stream feed off. I'm actually probably gonna figure out something to put there for anyone that dies early, or you know, anything else were to happen. Like I'll put something in the background, because right now it's just a black background. There's nothing there. Also 97, really fun room, good stuff. pretty tough enemy. Alright, so 98 and 99. 98, these enemies can be killed easily with either an Ice Storm or a Thunder Rage. So Teddy's gonna use an Ice Storm drop that he got. But yeah, if you weren't able to kill them here, you can just kill them with Boomer. There's one more that's off screen, but he got good RNG there. And a level up as well, which is gonna help him. And then this last room is a bunch of Magiblots. So that's the strat I was talking about, where you can just get them in a corner and jump on their heads. I think you got like an 8-second room. I was ahead at 30s and now you're getting a 126. Jeez. Teddy's just insane. Crazy stuff. Were you ahead of your PB in the 30s, Zach? When you were ahead of Teddy? Or were you behind it? You were. Okay, I thought you were. 50 seconds, wow. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate that RNG had to be RNG. But that's the pit for you sometimes. So this, like I said, this final boss is Ractail. This is just Fractail, but a little bit more difficult. He takes more hits on his head, and the enemies that spawn up there, if they hit you with their projectile, you can actually get 10 damage. Plus 250 against Teddy's record. Plus multiple minutes in the middle. That's rough. I wouldn't doubt it, Zach. You're definitely... I feel like you're definitely due to PB soon. You just got... You have 129, right? Something like that. The way you were playing early game, that was... I mean, that was a really, like... a really good run at the beginning. If RNG is nice, plus multiple things get put together, I have a feeling you can definitely get a really good PB. So yeah, this is the next use of Peach in this run. We can actually just use her to float on top of Racktail. And just spam his head. So, cool stuff. And this will be a nice 126 by Teddy. This is actually a tournament record right here. This is the best run that I've seen in the tournament so far. GG, good stuff. GG to Zach as well. It's unfortunate that he died, but this was a really good run by Teddy. GG's all around. Gonna get Dashel and that'll be it. Actually, I just realized I forgot to do this. Zach, if you want to hop in and talk about your run, or just say anything, you can if you want. You can say it in chat. I'll read it. Same goes to Teddy once he's done. But we can do some post-race interviews. What's up, Flash? What's up, Cats? But yeah. Oh, I gotta split. I gotta remember to actually split this time. 126, 35. Good stuff. You got a 33 on his timing.